Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is I spend the most time on my clients. True story. I coach in audios and telephone sessions primarily. In addition to that, you have access to me via text and email. My understanding is that most coaches don't hold a candle to this coaching, not to brag, but here I am bragging because I really care about people. I really want to make a difference in their lives if they let me. I'm a very direct coach, very kind of like cut to the chase coach. I don't sugarcoat. I tell you like it is. If you're in my coaching, you need to sign an agreement acknowledging I'm not a psychiatrist. You cannot bombard me. You need to respect me. And you need to understand that you need to come humble, you need to come honest and open to suggestions. If you could have done this with another coach, you would have probably done so already. And if you could have done it on your own, you probably could have done so already also. The way my coaching works is you have mainly two choices. We interact by audio exchange, especially if you're new in my coaching. We started with a telephone session that I record for posterity and for my notes. I take extensive notes from that session, and then we proceed to have the audio exchange. You need to describe to me your childhood, your adolescence, everything you went through thus far, most significant points, mom and dad, who you grew up with, siblings, this and that, your college years up until today. The reason this is really interesting to me, this is the most interesting part for me actually in coaching, is to understand who is in coaching with me, the person I'm working with. This allows me to really map out your history and to understand your blueprint. Blueprint consists of your beliefs, the belief system that's currently in place. So if I'm to work with you, I need to understand the current blueprint so that I can help you change it once and for all. You don't get to rebuttal me in my coaching. You don't need to question you don't get to question my methods. The best way to come in my coaching is, like I said, come humble, come honest, come open. If you could have done this yourself, you would have done so already. The telephone session package I recommend for people who either are really kind of like preferring to be on the phone with me, or somebody who's already been in my coaching and who now is progressing to sessions on over the phone only. I record all those sessions. They're about an hour each. I always go over because I can't get enough of my clients. I take extensive notes, and then we reconvene with my feedback and further analysis at the next session. All right, so we basically talk 2 to 3 times a week. Now, if you take your time responding to my audio, in the case of the audio exchange, that's up to you. I respond within a day or two, okay, with my own audio, with my own analysis, and giving you further instructions to what we're going to talk about next. If you'd like to book me for an hour before committing to have a monthly coaching with me, you can do that. It's on my website. The information is below. I do recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me. The month is the bare minimum, but basically speaking, if I'm perfectly honest, a month is just enough for me to go through everything that you've lived thus far, and chances are you've had quite a history. People in my coaching are very savvy, intelligent, worldly people who've been around. And so a month for me to cover everything and to give you feedback about everything that you've lived. And then, I give you techniques and exercises that I employ in my coaching. And only then and then we continue to manifestation, right? So I really need to understand who you are, how to transform it, right? There's a middle where I need to transform what it is that you're dealing with, such as forgiveness, releasing of emotions, this and that, and then and only then we proceed to manifestation. Now, you really need to be serious about this process and show up ready to work. Okay, you cannot treat this as some kind of like a joke. This is not therapy. This is actual work. So I cannot do your push-ups for you. You need to do the do. You need to show up and work, in other words, right? So I can instruct you. I can be there for you 100%, like I said. And I am for every single one of my clients. But you need to show up and be committed. That's how results happen, and they happen pretty quick. Very often in my coaching, as I'm coaching somebody, their reality starts to shift if they're taking it seriously. If you have any questions before about and before coaching with me, please email me. So I've been trying to get this message out of me, and I'm still doing it. And I've been recording like almost every day now, I think, from my channel. And the reason why is that, well, first of all, I'm inspired. I always record when I'm inspired. And this is the ungodly hour that I wake up in, by the way. Well, I wake up at 4, but yeah, by 5, I'm already kind of like doing things. And the other reason is because I'm writing my book, and I'm truly like writing down a lot, writing a lot, and doing a lot of thinking what's going to go into my book, because I don't want to make it too long. I don't want to make it like, 1,000 pages, but I think it needs to be like pretty on point about what it is I really want to talk about. And so, so here's the deal with me. This is why I mock the whole SP situation. Kindly, but not very kindly. Kindly, but not kindly, all right? Is because in my mind, it's so fucking easy. It's easy. First of all, everything is easy. We know that. But when I saw how many people, like seriously, like it was really kind of like new information for me when I saw how many people were so desperate about this topic. And to me, that was really curious. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. Don't take this the wrong way. But for me, it was really curious because I never like saw it that way. I never experienced that, I mean, sure, there was heartbreak in my life and this and that, but for me, it was just really curious how people have it so fucking backwards, Like how many fucking coaches and gurus and so on are out there making all these videos that basically say a lot of things about nothing in the end, and don't give you the secret, or it's not fucking secret, it's like the it method basically. And what's really curious to me, like yesterday I recorded an audio, how to be in your gut state. And what's so curious to me, I looked at my analytics this morning, and it's on the bottom of being watched. Nobody fucking gives a shit, in other words. Out of all the videos that I've recorded, it's on the bottom in the last 28 days or whatever it is. And you guessed it, the number one is about DSP. All of them, all of the top 5 are about DSPs. And that's really curious to me. And therein lies the problem, right? So the entire world has it backwards, dare I say. Because if you have your mind so like enchanted with your SP, you don't have your fucking SP. If you're worried, if you're stressed, if you're doing this, that, and the other, if you're not paying attention to the creator yourself, okay, you don't have your SP. And you know what? Chances are you won't have them for a while, if ever. I hate to break it to you. Now, it's not a popular opinion, as I'm like observing, but that's the do. You gotta do the do. You gotta do you. Do you for you. And so these things I record for SP people is literally just for you. I mean, I see it like as a joke. Are you really serious that you don't think that you can have this person back? It's easy. It's a piece of cake. Seriously, though. And if you don't think so, get into my coaching and I'll explain it to you in your own, situation, how it works in your own situation. So the subject of today is you can read your SP's mind. And of course you can. I didn't realize it was such a big deal, first of all. Everybody wants to know, like, if they're in separation or if even if not, and, if they're married or something like this, to this person, they still want to know what they're thinking. Well, they're thinking what you're thinking. Go and watch one of my videos. I have a videos like, they're thinking what you're thinking. Thought transmission is your superpower. Energy transmission is your superpower, etc., etc. You can read their mind because you instruct them what the fuck to think. Why? Because there's only you in the universe. They're your creation, and so you instruct them. So if you're thinking something in opposition, that's why they're not here yet. If you're thinking, I am a miserable person without this SP, and my happiness, quite frankly, depends on their presence and their actions, or them acting this way or that way, you're in fucking trouble, baby. You're in trouble, my darling. Because you don't understand how it works. You don't. Like I said, if you walk up to the mirror and you smile, guess what you're going to see? You're going to see a smiley face. A beautiful smiley face. But if you frown and you're crying and you're miserable, nothing. Nada. Zilch. You're not going to see anything that you want to see. How the fuck are you supposed to see a smiley face when you're frowning in the mirror? Please explain this to me. I'll wait. Here's the deal. Here's two things that I wrote down that really trips a lot of people up. Self-concept. And I use this term. I don't really like this term. I think it really should be self-confidence. But for the people who, are so like dire into Neville Goddard that it's like religion for them. See, for me, honestly, side note here, it's like I study everybody when I went on my journey, quote unquote. But then I take the best parts of those people and make it my own. But there's some people who don't do that and just like follow the mantra like to the T. That's a mistake, in my opinion. Self-concept, I understand. It's like how you think about yourself. Okay, but self-confidence is way more important because it basically tops it. Because it says, okay, now that I know who I am, God, parenthesis here, I'm very fucking confident. Thank you very much. So self-concept, let's just go along with this term. And letting go of the emotions associated with the past version of the SP. So basically, some kind of drama panorama happened, right, with this SP. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. I don't business partner, anybody. It doesn't have to be a lover, basically. And so you don't think of yourself highly. And then in addition to that, you're not letting go of resentment. In most cases that I've had, in all of 8 years of my coaching, eight and a half now, it's one of the two or both. It's resentment mostly towards them. This is what keeps them away. This is what keeps the relationship the way it is. And the self-concept is shit. Okay, I'm just not going to sugarcoat it to you once more. Very direct. The self-concept has suffered for quite some time, even before you've attracted this person. So they have got nothing to do with this, everything to do with you. All right. So those are the two things that if you fix this shit, they're yours. This motherfucker is yours. Okay. It's like, what's so funny? This is what I love about, all right? That it is very easy to have your SP back, which is why I don't understand why the whole obsessive hoopla around this subject. Because it's about you. It's not about them. It's about you. Y-O-U. You know, the way I spell universe, like it's Y-O-U, universe. It's universe. It's for you. So making it about another person is mistake number one. You think that something went wrong. You think that you've done something wrong. A lot of people in my coaching think that, which is another mistake. And let me give you another magic trick, and it's like golden nugget right here, right now. Most of my clients, I love them dearly. They're empath. I'm just going to make it like this kind of label for the sake of understanding. And they usually blame themselves for things going wrong, even if the other person is at fault, quite frankly. And they always think, well, what could I have done differently? What have I done wrong? And they continue blaming themselves and feeling awful and terrible for things that the other person is responsible. Can I fucking tell you something? Give people back their bullshit. That's another video on my channel. Go watch it. Give people back their bullshit. Stop being responsible for other people's bullshit. Yes, surely you created them and this and that. But do you need to continue feeling responsible for what somebody else did? Absolutely fucking not. And you know what happens? Here's the magic trick. Ready? When you give that energy back to this person, what they've done wrong, and you stop feeling responsible for it, you give it all back to them and you say, no, actually, excuse me, I did not fuck up. You did. Yeah. So that's that. I don't feel sorry at all. You did not show up. You did not deliver. You were not a good partner. You fucked up. And not to in a blaming way, but basically giving credit where it's due kind of way. You know what happens? It's a magical thing that happens. First of all, you take the load off your shoulders. And in the case of empath, like I said, people blame themselves a lot for things that they're not responsible for, in the sense of, I didn't do anything wrong. That person, when you give them back that energy, they come and apologize. True story. It's 100% true. It's like if you're taking on somebody else's blame, well, you're carrying that fucking shit. But if you give it back, they come and apologize. That's that. The other two things that will really help you, abandoning the past and any kind of like configuration of it, which is why in my coaching, like I said, it really serves you to work through your past, observe it, analyze it, study it, understand the repetitive patterns. There's always a pattern, no matter who you are. I don't care. You could be the richest person on earth. You have a pattern if you haven't done the self-examination. And in addition to that, not taking the cue from the 3D. Oh my God, I cannot emphasize that enough. Go watch the audio before this, how to get in the God state. Don't give a shit about 3D. 3D is your bitch, okay? That's it. Some people make these videos. Like one time, somebody pointed out a video to me by some, I don't know, coach, something. Fuck the 3D. Well, I think that's a little bit too aggressive. I think it's like, I don't need to be so volatile. In other words, towards 3D, I just observe it kindly and say, no, thank you. That's a lot softer. And basically doesn't give it importance. I'm like, no, thank you. Whenever somebody says something to me that I don't prefer, I'm like, no, no thanks. No, that's not what's happening. I decide what's happening. That's the deal. And so your decision and confidence, those two things, another two things, really, we come in twos in this audio. Are you taking notes, class? Confidence and decisions are necessary. So you can read your SP's mind. First of all, do you meditate? If you do, You can read anybody's mind. I read people's minds all the time. I read my clients' minds. I read anybody's mind I want because I tune in. I am in tune with myself enough. I meditate myself enough into the realm of all possibilities. Sounds like Deepak Chopra. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah, I stopped liking him. It's a little bit too abstract. It's like, can we please see a painting, Deepak? Like, I don't want to deal with like abstract shapes and sizes. Anyway, moving on. You can read anybody's mind you want because, first of all, you are the mind you're reading. Okay? Again, let me repeat it. You can read anybody's mind because you're the mind you're reading. You instruct them what to think. Again, they're just your creation. And I know for a lot of people it's very hard to download and this and that, but that's the deal of the universe. That's the sooner you will realize this, the sooner your problems with SP will stop. So if you, again, going back to how most people, come into my coaching. If you're thinking you're depressed and you don't have them and they chose a third party and blah, 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 whatever the problem is, I don't know your problem, you know your problem, then that's what's happening. And quite frankly, will continue to happen until you change your mind. If this morning you got up and you said, you know what, I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself. I've exhausted this. And now I choose to paint on a blank canvas. Okay? It's so much easier to paint on a blank canvas when you let go of resentment. You let go of all that bullshit, abandoning the past, like I said once more. And you stop taking the cue from the 3D and you instruct the 3D and you start being the artist and the creator of your life. Hello, creator means an artist. Creating your reality really means to be an artist of your reality. Good morning, how are you? Tuk tuk. Am I getting through to you? Yes. So it's impossible to paint on a the canvas like covered with shit and resentment. The other day somebody commented, "Oh, shit on spaghetti." Ha ha. Yes, shit on spaghetti because you ruined the fucking spaghetti. Why don't you get a new canvas and fucking let it be white and pristine and totally clean. Start anew. But that's the way that this happens is that you let go of the past. You got to process the past, let go, abandon it, forgive it, pa 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 pa. Okay, that's a big fucking chunk of my coaching, by the way. So, I mean, there's no question you're commanding your reality, that you're creating it. Make it so there is no question that you know what you're creating. Am I getting through to you? Yeah. It's up to you. The pen is in your hand. The pencil is in your hand. The brush, excuse me, with the paint is in it is in your hand. Nobody else but you. So again, if you start thinking thoughts like, oh my goodness, they love me so much. They can't wait to see me. They want to come to apologize. They would love to make it up to me till the end of fucking time for what they did. They realized I was the one, then that's what they're going to pick up on and think. Dot transmission. That's it. Now, the idea is also consistency. Stick to a project, right? So when I have a project, I don't just like start it and then like 2 minutes later, I'm like, I changed my mind. No, that's stupid. You need to consistently deliver the same kind of energy towards that project, the same dedication, the same thoughts, and the same vision. So if you've got the vision that this person is yours and they're thinking about you this way and la la la, have I mentioned that you can instruct them to think what you want to think, what you want them to think? Yeah, that's how you read their mind. It's like you can't tell whether the chicken came from first or the egg. It doesn't fucking matter. It's like all on a loop. But you're the fucking chicken, okay? You're the one who lays the eggs, basically. I've just solved this for you, okay? Parenthesis here. You can read their mind because you fucking delivered those thoughts to them. Because that's how you think of them. Because that's how you think that they're thinking of you. That's the entire shebang. That's how you read somebody's mind. Now, you, in your human mind, you can pretend, oh yeah, I can read their mind telepathically, so, but no, you're really instructing them. That's it. You can read their mind because you're reading your own mind, like I said. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with this. If you truly knew that your SP is always already yours, no matter how it seems in the 3D, that this is your person, this is your guy, this is your girl, you're unstoppable. It's irrelevant what it looks like right now. The circumstances do not matter, like Bashar says, and I love Bashar. But the thing is, it really, really doesn't. It can change on a dime. It can change in a day. In a day it can change. In an hour. If you allow yourself to go there, now most of you are so fucking like married to your old beliefs. It's like Velcro, shed on Velcro. Here's another comment that I probably will get. This is actually from Robin Williams, from his stand-up. I love him so much. Shed on Velcro. Your shitty beliefs are like shed on Velcro. And it's like sometimes it's impossible to get rid of it. Seems like it because you're so like attached to it, you know. But let me tell you something. Liberate yourself of all that shit on Velcro situation, okay? And start examining who would you be if you were that confident, if you understood that everything is up to you. It's up to your decision only. You're the CEO of your life. You're the decider 100% and always. And if you're being miserable and being like complaining about anything, you're basically complaining about yourself. That you have not decided something and you have not understood thus far who you really are. You have not taken the reins back into your hands. And that's what it really is. If you make their presence here, again, by, letting go of emotions that are associated with the past and their past version and creating a new one. I just gave you a whole fucking seminar in like 27 minutes. Okay, by the way, yes, you can book a seminar on my website as well. Either on Zoom or if you're in New York, okay? I prefer local, in America at least, okay? I'm not, at some point I will do international, but I'm not sure when. I will let you know. So if you make their presence here and you've got no resistance and you don't have any resentment towards them, they will appear in no time, all right? Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.